Looks great.
Hey everybody, it's Kate from Crate Insider and Winning Motorsports Marketing, and I am here today with Steve Hendren from Hendren Racing Engines. So you think the camera's quite crooked?
It looks crooked.
I don't know, we'll adjust it.
No. Feels about like I do, so a little bit crooked.
Okay. Yeah. So tell us, are you just tired, or you?
I went to a friend's pool party yesterday and drank too much, stayed up too late. You know, normal Saturday night kind of deal if you're not racing.
Wow. Wow. I mean, are you finding out that you're not 21 anymore?
Well, no, I'm definitely not 21, but we try to be still.
Yeah. Well, I didn't drink as much because I had to drive, so.
Yeah.
So I had like 2 and I was done. But yeah, we've already got some folks on here with us today. Feel free to drop in your questions. So tell me, Steve, how was your week?
Busy. Really busy. I was a man down this week because Alex decided to go to Florida and have a little vacation with his girlfriend. So it's just me and my brother, and so we're even further behind than we were last week, it seems like.
Well, would you really want to be caught up?
Honestly, I would right now.
Oh, okay. Maybe you get a chance to go on a
we're just
vacation.
having part supply issues and everything else going on, so that's kind of got us stuck.
Oh, I got something in today in this week that I'm excited about.
What'd you get?
I got my Bromax Pit Bikes.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, my Bromax Pit Bikes came in. So I know a lot of people have anxiously been awaiting those, the 350s. 750s are still on order.
I think you also have like the only 602 in the country right now.
I might. I don't think it'll last very long.
No.
I got a couple of calls on Friday, but I don't know if they realized the scarcity that we're dealing with right now. I think I do have the last 602 engine known to man.
That's what it seems like.
Pretty much, yeah. What I don't have is 604 valve springs, though.
No, I don't think anybody does.
No, nobody does. I mean, I've already tried to cross that bridge already.
One of the
weeks
problems
ago.
we're having with rebuilds right now is we can't get any new springs at the moment.
Yeah, that makes it tough. That makes it really tough.
Yep.
So, what are you excited about? Anything exciting?
I'm still breathing. That's about it. Yeah.
Good.
Nothing
Good.
else.
Did you have a good nap? You had a little
I
nap.
did. Yeah.
Good. And so, what are you drinking today?
Just Ultra.
Just Ultra. I'm drinking a Truly. I'm truly drinking a Truly. Yes, I'm with a hint of raspberry lime.
So it's water.
It is. Actually, it's sparkling water.
That's boring.
Yeah. Well, yeah, sparkling alcoholic water
Gotcha.
that's 5% alcohol.
Oh, it's got alcohol in it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm not. Well, I mean, I've got those too, the non-alcoholic version of all of this. But yeah, no, these ones have alcohol. I mean, this is Unsealed. This is what we do. Is we have adult beverages mostly.
Gotcha.
Sometimes I'm boring, but mostly adult beverages, and talk about current events and anything on your radar. Do I want to ask? Do you want to answer?
How does Joe Biden say her name? Kamala. Kamala. Kamala Harris.
I thought it was Kamala, but then everybody on the news is saying Kamala now.
I think that's
like
because
Kamala.
I think that's because Joe says it that way.
Oh God!
They have to cover for him.
What would Joe do? we know what Joe did.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? And if you know, here's a thought. We are not having a press conference in the style of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, since they don't seem to take questions.
No, they don't take any questions.
We do take questions, so feel free to drop them in there.
Yeah.
even if you, whatever question you want to drop in there, you can do that.
I notice you're not wearing a mask.
Well, I'm inside. I'm inside.
Yeah, but like everybody's
I'm inside my own
saying
home.
you gotta wear it all the time now. That's what Joe wants.
Well, only if I go outside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
all right,
so
all
if
right.
I go outside of my own home, so you're outside of your own home, you're the one who should be wearing a mask.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
I'm a dick, so I don't wear them.
We all knew that. We knew that before masks were a thing. But let's see here. We got Scott. Let's say hi to some folks. We got Scott here from California. Terry says, hi, kids. Joe is here from Connecticut. And Scott, it says, it's been a couple of weeks. How are the eyes? Oh, my eyes are doing great. For anybody who doesn't know, I had eye surgery and I got new eyeballs. Well, you called them eye holes, but I got new lenses put in my eyes. I have 20/20 vision, and my eyes are in the healing stage with no issues. So it's really cool to be able to see all the time, all the different distances, and just honestly don't even have to think about it. But still have to put in like steroid. I'm on steroids.
It's kind of a scary world when you can see.
I know it is. I know, but I just, because it's a scary world, now I can see, and I am ready for the zombie apocalypse.
There you go.
Well, I'm getting more ready all the time.
Right.
I
Yeah.
got new toys.
You've gone full prepper.
I am. I've got a full prepper at this point. Yeah. Let's see. Tony's drinking with us. He's got his Yingling.
Nice.
So that's really cool.
It's good beer, actually.
Yeah, you like that. Tim Pato, I know a friend of
Yep.
yours, says hi. Neil McPhillips.
Oh, good Lord.
Yep. My hooker friend. For anybody doesn't know, Neil is from Hooker Harnesses, seatbelts. And he said, but Neil says, what's up, superstars?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Now, you don't even have an excuse for not wearing a mask, because Neil and Scott from Hooker sent you some masks.
They sent Alex masks.
Oh, well.
Yeah, he had to wear them all down in Florida and shit.
Yeah, I know, but so Alex didn't share?
No, he's a...
Well, he is his
a
father's son. All right. Let's see. Chris has a comment here. He says, or a question for our opinions. If Smokin' Joe Biden raced, what class of car would he race? I say a dwarf car on pavement.
I'm saying a front-wheel drive on dirt.
Well, I say he'd have to find his way to the track first.
Yeah. Well, there's that.
Yeah.
I don't think he'd remember to turn left, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. He keeps turning farther and farther left at every juncture.
If they make him into a front-wheel drive drag racer, I mean, that would be the ideal thing for him, because then he doesn't have to remember to do anything.
Okay.
Well, maybe at the end of the quarter he does. But
It's hard to say.
yeah, hard to say.
Yeah.
Dude can't even string a sentence together, so.
I don't know. I think he'd do a poll for which one was most popular, and then that's the one he would go with whatever. Yeah. Okay. Terry has a question, and this is gonna be one for you more so than for me. He says, "How did you like the Herb Pierce battle?"
I mean,
And will you just kind of catch everybody up, because I heard that there was a battle, but I don't really know.
Yeah,
I don't know
mean,
what the drama is.
honestly, I think we've all done it.
I don't
at
even
some-
know what the it is.
Tried to hit somebody. I mean, he like basically hit him head on, not like hard, but then it was a problem with the officials, and I mean, it was just kind of a deal. I mean, you can watch it on Dirt.
Okay.
I think we've all done what he's done at least once in our lives. Just so happened he had the meltdown in front of everybody. So.
Oh, having
I
a
think he's-
meltdown, you get wrecked, and then you go out and wreck the other guy.
Yeah, well, no, I think he's taking probably some more heat for it than what he should, because, like I said, I think everybody's done it at least once.
Gotcha.
Just not in front of half the nation. So I mean, it's just one of them things. He definitely shouldn't have did what he did after the official was trying to stop him from doing what he did, but just I don't know. Honestly, I don't care.
Yeah.
It's racing. It happens.
Yeah.
Sometimes it brings out the best in us, sometimes it brings out the worst in us, and sometimes you get shit like that happens.
Gotcha. Yeah. Gotcha. Okay, so Mikey says Willamette Speedway in Oregon had its first race in 2020.
Oh, good.
Well, of course, obviously, we'd all like to have said that, hey, they had their first race months ago already, but hey, anytime we get racing again, I think it's fantastic, especially in the times that we live
I
in.
assume it was a sprint car race. I mean, it used to be, when I lived out in California, it used to be a big sprint car track.
In Oregon?
Well, Willamette didn't you?
Oh, okay. Interesting. I don't know. Maybe Mike can fill us in. Tony says, by the way, the Crate Insider jerky you sent was awesome.
It is awesome.
It is.
Shit's good.
Yeah, I love it. And then Terry was replying to Chris here, and here's on what Joe Biden would race.
Yeah.
Looks like we got a few people answered. Destruction Derby is
Hybrid.
hybrid is what. Okay, you guys. So I watch a lot of YouTube, like at night instead of, I don't have regular TV, so I have Netflix and I have YouTube on my TVs, and so I've been watching a lot of YouTube, and I don't know why, but they like showing me Joe Biden commercials. I mean, it's one after another. And there's this one where he gets into a Corvette and he talks about how he used to be a good driver and his dad was I remember my dad was a good driver too in the Corvette, and I think you could make these into being really fast with electric and bring back American jobs, and you could have an electric Corvette that would go 200 miles an hour. And I was like, why are they showing this to me? But you know what? I watch them all.
That dude hadn't driven a car in...
He looked so
like
awkward.
45 years.
He was, it was straight up like, what do I do with my hands?
Yeah.
Wow. It was crazy. So, it does put a little bit of fear in me there about what would happen with Joe, and if a year from now we'd still be able to have these conversations if we'd still have race cars. I am concerned about that. Okay. All right. So it looks like we're getting to some real questions here.
Okay.
So Joe's asking, what kind of power numbers are you seeing from a 602 with a Holley 80541 carburetor on gas, no spacer plate, with Schoenfeld street stock headers, 1 inch and 5/8 primary tube, 3-inch collector?
I have no idea, because I've never dynoed that combination.
80541, that's going to be a...
It's like a Holley HP or whatever.
Yeah, the Ultra HP.
Yeah, it's nothing that I've ever... no rules that we race under require that kind of setup. So, honestly, I just don't have I don't have a number for you on that.
Okay, Sean's asking, power-wise, X85 or Sunoco E85?
I have not actually tested the X85 versus the Sunoco E85. I have tested X85 versus the Renegade, and both of them are pretty similar. The X85's got just a little bit of an edge, but not like the difference between winning or losing a race kind of edge.
Well, more of a difference of which one's more accessible and which one's a better price point where you're at, kind of thing.
I just know that those two fuels right now are performing pretty well. Unlike their, well, I don't want to bag on Renegade too bad, but their Ratman shit is shit. So.
Oh. Yeah. Josh says, Creepy Joe.
Creepy Joe, that's fact.
Brett says, Willamette Speedway ran sprints on Fridays and a big field of dirt late models on Saturdays.
Cool. That's good to hear.
I don't know if that's now or if that's back in the day.
Yeah.
Speaking of back in the day, we had some great videos up on the Racing Rewind channel this week. Mm-hmm. One of those I kind of previewed here, which is pretty cool, where it had interviews with Scott Bloomquist and Billy Moyer. They called him Billy Moyer Jr. back then.
I think you dropped that on like Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah, I did. Oh, and here's the thing too, is I forgot, but you get to the very end of the video. I'm not even sure who won, and I wouldn't want to spoil it anyway, but there's like it was longer, we cut it, but it says, Scott Bloomquist was found 45 pounds light at the scales. Or whatever, however many pounds, but he was found light at the scales and was disqualified. So I don't know if Scott was wearing his, because they did the driver interviews. I think there's a lot we can take from these old racing videos, because, how they made this big spectacle. There was a big event instead of just like lining up and getting a bunch of cars. Yeah. There was this whole driver introductions, but that's when Bloomquist had the tuxedo fire suit. Mm-hmm. So he had the white fire suit with like a black bow tie, a little black bow tie. Yeah. It was kind of cool. Okay, let's see. What David asked, what's your thoughts on race base fuel on a 604? Race base fuel. I don't know. Maybe you mean race gas? Race gas? I don't know.
Or if you're talking about base fuel, which kind of fuel? Yeah,
David, if you could clarify that'd be great. Chris Plummer says, FYI, Kyle Larson won again.
Yay, Kyle.
Go Kyle. Yeah.
He's definitely the man this year, isn't he?
Yep. Oh, I had
got a little fire lit under his ass after all the bullshit getting kicked out of NASCAR.
Yes, he did. It's and then not just him, but his wife too. With like the shotgunning of beer. That was like epic. I think that was his wife, right?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I think it was his.
Straight over my head there.
Oh, gosh. I think it was Kyle Larson's wife, though. Shotgun and a beer, and then now there's T-shirts about it, too.
I don't know.
But somebody's wife. I think it's Kyle's. Somebody can jump in there. Let's see. Brett said, Steve, do you build motors for Bloomquist?
I built him a 604 the year before last, I think it was the year before last.
Yeah, it was.
And which is the one he got. He set fast time by like 2/10 down at that Turkey 100, and then got thrown out because they had some rule you had to have a fan on the car. So
yeah,
he didn't have a fan blade on the car and got thrown out in qualifying after qualifying.
Yeah.
So he started at the back of everything and ended up obviously making the feature, and I think he finished like second or third or something in the feature.
Gotcha. Oh, okay. So the question I got earlier this week, someone asked me, asked Steve, do you recommend break-in oil? For a new engine?
Not necessarily. I mean, I've tested a couple break-in oils, that Z-Max stuff that you stock. I tested it, and it seems to work fine. I mean, I don't have a problem with it.
Didn't you try that in your engine?
Yeah, I mean, because we're gonna crash test dummy everything on our own stuff. So when Alex's 604 was new, we tested it on there. I mean, everybody, like, I don't know, makes a big deal that, some people just make a huge deal out of break-in, and there's really not a whole lot of break-in. I mean, getting the rings seated is about it. Usually on our chassis dyno, about 5 passes the rings are seated. I noticed, and you're making power. I noticed with that Z-Max stuff, it was like about 2 passes and rings were seated and broke in, and it was making power at that point. So
cool.
it's just it's a good product.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't not recommend it by any means. So.
Well, I mean, I got it because
if you got it in stock, I mean, definitely.
I do.
It's
I got it because you told me it's good.
It's worth a look for a guy to use, especially if he doesn't have the opportunity to break one in on a dyno.
Yeah, which most people wouldn't.
Which, like I said, it's only a couple passes to actually break one in on the dyno.
So basically, one night and you're one night of the track, you're.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you got a test, if you got a night you can go test or something, then just break it in that way.
Perfect. Excellent. Okay. Oh, and Chris and Terry both tell me yes. Kate, Kyle Larson's wife, Kate. Yep, she's a badass. Shot Ken's beers in the winner's circle every time he wins.
There you go. Cool.
So nice. Okay, so David clarifies his question about
XO4.
Yeah, base racing fuel XO4.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really ran a lot of it. The stuff I've ran runs pretty decent. I've never really back-to-backed it with anything else. I don't see a problem with it. I mean, any of those big, companies. I mean, I don't know, the base stuff, I don't know. I'm not a fan, but I think it runs all right.
Okay. Gotcha.
I can't say it on here, but.
Mikey's giving me hell because the other day, I think it was on, Thursday or Friday, I went ahead and went live on my Winning Motorsports marketing group and told a story. And Mikey's saying, Kate, I can't believe you sent a used hat to somebody.
tell them that jackass story.
I have got to tell you this story.
Holy shit.
So here's what happened, and it's too bad. I'm sure there's a hat around here someplace, but so I had someone who sent me an email and said, "Hey Kate, would you please send me a hat?" Well, I don't know. They kind of asked nice, and so I didn't come back and be like, "Oh, here's the link. Go buy the." I was just like being a nice person. You tell your 5-minute story.
I'm having a cigarette.
I will. Well, see if you can find a hat. Anyway, so I emailed this guy. I say, okay, well, great. What's your address? And so I sent him a Crate Insider hat. If you haven't seen a Crate Insider hat, then it's the distressed style is what it is. And I think Steve went to grab one. Well, this week, I think it was Monday. So, I mean, my phone is blowing up. I mean, it's because it's Monday. And my phone is blowing up with calls, between calls and emails and text messages. I mean, I'm just bouncing from one thing to the next. I mean, with people placing their orders, with me talking to manufacturers, with just making deals. I mean, that's what's going on. That's a Monday for me. And then I get a phone call. And it's the guy that I sent the free hat to. And he asked me, so, I have a question. I'm wondering why you sent me a used hat. I was like, what are you talking about? And he says, well, yeah, it has some frayed marks on the bill of it, and then it's got some it's scratched. I mean, it's used. And I was like, no, that's just the way they are. I mean, they're distressed. they're done like that on purpose, you know? And he's like, well, I mean, I wanted a new hat. And I was like, dude, I sent you a new hat. That's just the way they are. So then I get off the phone with this guy. Keep in mind, this is somebody who is not a customer. I sent him a hat for free, and now he's complaining about it. And then the next thing is, I get off of this phone call, and I see he's sent me an email, too, to tell me about his used hat that he got. And I was like, about that point, I'm just like, yes, send it back. Clearly, if a free hat that is brand new isn't good enough for you, send it back. And here's a link to what the hats are supposed to look like. I was livid. Oh my God. I mean, the lack of gratitude is just unbelievable. I understand when you buy something and you don't get what you want, but what did you think you were getting? I don't know. So anyway, it really irritated me, and it's hard to really want to do nice things for people when you get slapped in the face with people who are completely ungrateful when you do something that's just nice. And it's just unbelievable to me. So, yeah, Josh is laughing. And you guys can see I was about ready to pull out my hair. Steve went outside, so I think he went to go get a hat probably out of his car. Or who knows, maybe he's talking to the neighbor. Maybe he's just going to, like, abandon me on Unsealed. Chris says, send it to me. I will wear it. Everybody's laughing. I mean, it's the most ridiculous thing. You can clearly tell it's a brand new hat. I mean, you know when they're actually a used hat because they're going to have like sweat stains and, have a certain smell to them. And, we all do. So, yeah. And yeah. Willie, I'd never complain about a free hat, used or not. Chris says, Kate are used hats. Bah, what a tard. Yeah, completely. And I don't even know why I did it, because, I don't know. I get all the sob stories and all of this, but this guy, I don't know, maybe the way he asked was really nice, and so I thought, oh, okay, well, clearly he knows what he's getting, and Steve must not have had a hat in his car. But I emailed the guy a link, too, and said, this is what the hats look like, and just send it back at this point.
It's a total jackass.
Yeah, I would agree. I've gotten some volunteers that would be happy to wear a free hat.
I'm sure.
But I know Mikey also, but besides giving me hell, also had a question for you. He says, Steve, if you raced again, but late model wasn't an option, what class would you choose?
Oh, I'd absolutely choose that Crate Racing USA Street Stock division.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's badass.
Wow.
I mean, it's probably one of the most competitive racing series out there right now, I think.
I'm going to agree with you, but that was a shocker.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know.
Yeah,
well,
they look fun to drive, and yeah, absolutely.
Except for the dream race car that you would run.
What do you mean?
Because I know that you would give your left testicle to be able to drive a sprint car.
Oh, no, yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, I'd love to drive a sprint car, but...
I mean, you've said that many times. I'll get my left nut to drive a sprint car. So
I might actually be too old for that now, so I'll stick with the street stock.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Josh says scratch and dent on my hat deal.
Yeah.
And Terry's like, the guy above doesn't wear hats. Oh, Mark says, after red silicone last week, what do you suggest for gaskets? And he's going red silicone in air quotes. So to catch anybody up, then we talked a little bit about red silicone.
Andy actually had an email about that Monday morning.
I know. It's why I told you guys you have to be careful about taking your pranks too far. So you mentioned about red silicone, and I'm just going to give you guys a heads up. Steve absolutely hates red silicone, and it gets in the ports. And
no race car driver should be allowed to own red silicone.
So that's that. So what do you suggest for gaskets for headers, or what is it that you suggest?
Well, I mean, Dynatech made those gaskets. I don't even know if they still are or not. I don't know what the hell they're doing, but at any rate, they made those gaskets just for 604s, and those were really good design gasket. Other than that, like a Felpro, I don't have the number off the top of my head, though.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, Andy had told me before to either run metal gasket.
Cometic is supposed to be making gaskets for Profab. When that actually happens, I don't know yet.
Well, sometimes things just take time, and that's just the way that is.
It happens. I guess.
But I mean, in the past, Andy has told me to use silicone to secure the headers, but
Yeah.
but just not gobs and gobs of red silicone.
Yeah, you don't just glob it on there. You know,
Told him before,
you don't need a 1/4-inch bead around each port. I'll put it that way.
Well, I mean, we really do take
their flanges, they're CNC flanges.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just a small amount of silicone is all it needs, and they seal up just fine.
So just kiss it.
Yes.
Just
exactly.
kissed with silicone.
Use your finger and spread a little bit around there.
You know, I don't know. Maybe I should get you guys some double stick tape.
But
there's some badass tapes out there.
You don't really need red silicone to
No.
make the shit work. You can use black. We use black, for instance.
Yeah. Well, you hate it also because it's just so hard to get off the engines when you're rebuilding them and cleaning
It's
them
just
up.
disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah. Gotcha. Alrighty. Chris says, Kate, can you send me a free crate engine? And I will not bitch if it's used like all of your hats. Yeah, you can gladly pay me Tuesday for a hamburger today.
I think I got to use one with a hole in the side of it if anybody wants one.
Scratch, dead, bullet in the side. Well, I always say they're the kind of bulletproof. I mean, for the most part, they are, except when they're not.
Yeah, this is one of the holes that's from the inside out, not the outside in.
Yeah, well, yeah. Nick says, hey, Steve, what's your opinion on grinding tires?
Oh, you have to. Yeah. Yeah, you absolutely have to. You got to get the that glaze off of them and get the pores open back up in them where they'll fire again next time you use them.
Well, and I got some great tips on it from...
Absolutely grind tires.
I've talked about this.
Don't grind them until they smoke. Normally, we use a variable speed grinder and a sanding disc, and basically you're just, like I said, you're taking that glaze, that smooth glaze off them.
Well, I talked to Buck Parker about tires at some point because, well, I sell tire prep, you guys. It's not legal in a lot of places, but it's perfectly legal in other places. So this isn't like a cheater tip or anything. But that's why Buck and I talk about tires. And one thing he was telling me, and this is not going to be news to a lot of people who have done this for a long time, but you got to really be careful about not burnishing your tires. I mean, just rubbing it so much that you're going to glaze it over. I mean, you want to just knock that glaze open.
That's why you use a really coarse sanding disc and a variable speed grinder, and just, like I said, just knock that glaze off of it. Really.
Yeah, exactly. Josh is kind of slamming you over here. Or compliment. It's hard to say, but he says Steve's kind of resembling Sammy Swindell with all that gray. So are you going for?
I'll own it.
Own it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I need to get a haircut and then stop by CVS and buy a little bit of that shit you put in your hair to make it not so gray.
Are you gonna wash that gray right out of your hair?
I'll probably will at some point. I've just been too lazy to do that.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. I will not be going gray. Even if we're in lockdown, I will wear hats. I almost wore one today just because I like my hat.
Ask Josh who actually won that street stock race down there. They had a big street stock race in Mississippi. And
why not?
I didn't see any results from it anywhere.
Hey Josh, who won? We don't have to ask.
Oh, well, yeah. No, I guess I can just say it to the screen. Here I am looking at your computer going, I'm going to type it in.
Well, here's what's cool. I know there's going to be a replay because I was talking to Michael from Speedway Car Cams.
Yeah.
And he was chatting with me, and he asked for some, if I wanted to sponsor a couple of spots, because they do those in-car cams.
Oh, yeah.
So I sponsored, I just gave him a number, and I think he was putting car cam in 3 cars for Crate Insider.
Cool deal.
So that tells me that there's going to be a replay, at least a GoPro replay of that race. And I think he does drone overview too. So I think he does a combo.
Okay.
I haven't looked at his stuff in a while, but Michael, really good guy. He was a big supporter of Winning Motorsports Marketing when it first came out. So, I'm going to throw that back out there too. Yeah. And that's just an opportunity.
Yeah, make sure you watch his YouTube channel. He's got some good stuff.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, I didn't know that you were aware of all of that.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay, let's see. Next up. Oh, Mikey would give his right testicle to drive a sprint car. So
my right one's the bad one, so it would actually make more sense to give the right one up. It's been squished a time or two by the crotch strap, so. in my lifetime.
Ooh, Ted says, so Ted's a good friend of Vicky Emig. They go way, way back. I think you maybe have talked to Ted on the phone. I have too. And Ted's here. He says, you give Vicky a heads up when you come up here. We will get you a practice in a sprint car. It would be wingless. It would be wingless in a 602 crate. So it'd be, compared to
that actually looks like a pretty fun class. And I've got a couple customers of mine, like John Mullock. I think he drives one. He bounces between a late model and one of those little sprint cars and stuff like that.
Well, I think they've done an amazing job with those 602 wingless sprints because you get all the action and the excitement that you would get. Well, just for a lot less money.
Oh yeah.
And it's really open. It's a lot less. It's a smaller barrier to entry.
Yeah.
Some of the guys in that class really work together in the different areas.
Pretty good series up there that they got going on.
Yeah, I would agree. Let's see. Josh says, for why not? He says, some 18 car from Florida, but they crashed a lot of cars all weekend.
Ugh. Wow.
Ugh, I hate that. I think this is the biggest, probably the biggest street stock race of the year there at Why Not here that weekend.
Yeah, it was pretty big.
Yeah, is that the street stock nationals?
Or whatever.
Okay. Gotcha. Christopher says, I wish we had a show to talk about the old West Coast late models and the drivers back in that era.
Yeah.
Well, there's probably a solution to that because, what would be kind of cool, I just randomly thought of this this red hot second, is that all those guys.
Yeah.
And, I know you watch a lot of podcasts or, like video podcasts.
Do a podcast on YouTube or something with it or something maybe.
Well, what I'm saying is we've got the Racing Rewind channel. Wouldn't it be great for you to jump on a Zoom call with a couple of drivers from back in the day, and you guys could talk about the things that you guys talk about, and that could go up on the Racing Rewind channel.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I can get most of them guys on the phone. So
yeah, well, and if you could add just the video component to it too, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Or you can even have a watch party or something.
It's something to think about in the future here.
It is, because it's just. I have to say, as far as a labor of love, the Racing Rewind channel is seriously nothing but a labor of love.
Right.
I have all the other things I do because they make me money, but that's something that I do because I feel like it's bringing joy into the world.
It's more of a fun hobby, so.
It is, because I need more hobbies.
Yeah.
Okay, should I tell you can I show my latest hobby?
I guess.
Since I've gone full prepper, I bought a dehydrator. It came yesterday. This is dehydrated corn, and it's a snack now. It's a snack.
You're like a fucking bird.
It's a crunchy snack. Kind of like corn nuts.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Oh, let's see. David Showers from Florida won.
Okay.
So he must be the driver of the 18 car.
Gotcha.
Okay, Jeff is asking Steve, what brand of fuel, whether oxygenated or E85, is your fuel of choice for fast track crate late model for performance on consistency?
And consistency.
And consistency.
And consistency, I assume. Either the X85 or the CHP.
My clots. Or clots.
Well, if Klotz would make an E85, which I've tried to get them to do, then I think
so. The E85 is better than my CR601?
Right now, yes.
Really?
100%.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So I just thought you were forgetting about my Klotz fuel.
No, I'm not forgetting it. It's just that's right now what the best stuff out there is.
Good to know.
So, I talked to Jeff at Klotz here a couple weeks ago and said, hey man, you guys made me some E85 one time that we tested that was badass, beat everything I've ever tried before. Can we make that again?
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Honestly, put John Klotz and Jeff onto a fuel and say we need the best stuff out there on it. That's what they'll make. Mm-hmm. But it's just a matter of what logistics I think on their end and what it costs them to do it versus what they can sell it for. And they've got a smaller distribution network than what BP has. So.
Yeah, they definitely do.
At least down here.
Yeah.
Up north, everybody runs their stuff in all snowmobiles and.
Well, I think they do a lot more.
All kinds of different kinds of racing applications.
Yeah, well, they do a lot more with that motorcycle market, power sports, oils, that type of deal, which is a lot easier because it comes in cases of quarts,
Right.
When you deal with fuel, it's an entirely different deal. Entirely different.
But if they made a fuel, I would be no doubt in my mind it'd be the baddest stuff out there.
Yeah.
I mean, an E85 variant.
Gotcha. Christopher says he would love to be a part of it, talking about your Racing Rewind podcast.
Oh, yeah. That'd be fun.
That would be cool. Chris says dehydrated corn to go along with your 27 years worth of prepper food.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I'm not going that far. I do have a townhouse, and it only has so much room.
Oh, my God.
But, yeah, I'm not. No, not that far. Yet. Hey, you know what? The one thing you don't have to worry about is you're not going to starve.
Right.
You know where to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
So, yeah. I know. It's a little ridiculous, but I'm a little worried, so that's why I do this. But now it's a hobby, and now it's fun. So I'm making apple chips and banana chips right now.
Yeah.
Right now, as I talk. So I'm excited.
I'm sure that's what people want to talk about on, this is apple chips.
They do.
Banana
They want to
chips.
know what we do when we're not just at the racetrack or talking about race car parts.
All right.
And we answer questions. So, yeah, feel free to drop in your questions in there. I had a good show on Top 5 Tuesday this week, too.
Yeah.
I showed up, I've got a couple new products. Got the KSE racing products.
Mm-hmm.
With the...
Their pumps, their reverse mount pumps and stuff.
Hit that reverse mount tandem pump
I've used
and
quite a few of those
bypass
so far.
regulator. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're a nice deal there. Let's see. Oh, Cameron says, great to see you on this awesome Sunday. It is an awesome Sunday. It's been sunshining all day long.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of rare.
Yeah, we don't usually get sunshine all day long.
No. Like all last week, it pretty much rained.
Well, we live in the rainforest.
This is true.
Yeah. Yeah, we do. We do.
Yeah.
What else is on your in the world of Steve?
Nothing really. Honestly, it's just work. Normally, this time of year, I'd be having plenty of time to do all sorts of cool, fun stuff. And the cool, fun stuff I'm doing right now is working. And that's about it.
Well, there is something cool, that go ahead and give everybody the update on in October that, to the best of your knowledge or the way plans are right now, about your race that's happening up at...
Yeah, it's going forward as far as what it's looking at right now. So we'll have my dad's 10th annual memorial race at Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania Motor Speedway.
Yeah. And that is a late model, a 604.
Yes, correct.
Crate late model in the Rush Racing Series.
2-night event.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and it happens with the... what is that?
What is it, the 3rd and the 4th?
Yes, I believe so. That first weekend in October.
Yeah.
And what's that other big race that's the Lucas Oil race?
The Pittsburgher.
The Pittsburgher,
Yeah.
yes. So, to the best of our knowledge, we think that this is going forward.
Yeah, correct. So they just actually had a race there, so as long as their governor and whatever the hell that health administrator person is that they have there don't go off the rails and lock everything down, then it should be all right.
Yeah.
And I guess probably Allegheny County is the biggest deal. If they don't go off the rails and go full retard and lock everything down, we should be all right.
Well, being a bigger city, because it is just right outside of Pittsburgh. I mean, you're like 15 miles from downtown Pittsburgh. So that's, any of these bigger cities have just had kind of different issues than some of us in the rural areas.
And there's an Alex.
And we just got a special guest if he wants to come and join us. But Alex was in Florida this last week. He just showed up here. And, yeah.
I suppose.
Yeah. He's going to...
Am I going to thread the needle here?
You're going to thread the needle. Absolutely.
Oh.
You don't have the COVID or anything, do you?
Not to the best of my knowledge.
You can tell Alex has been around me for a while. To the best of my knowledge is his answer.
It was a little sketchy down there, not gonna lie, but...
Yeah, so tell us what's it like to be on an airplane in the age that we live in?
Well, when I finally made it to the right airport, that's a different story, but it wasn't bad. Everybody's got their mask on and stuff. You can't take it off. You gotta wear it in the terminal, on the plane. But other than that, really, everything's kind of slowed down. The crowds and everything are really, really light. So, security was a breeze. And, It really wasn't a big issue. Like I said, only other difference is you got to have a mask on the whole time. But I mean, other than that, I mean, nothing really.
Well, it was a big question mark for me as someone who tends to travel quite a bit. That, you know, I wonder what that situation what's that landscape looking like right now? And
Right.
you know, I actually had an interesting experience this weekend because I went to the farmer's market on Saturday morning, and after the farmer's market, I went to the grocery store. And so, being at the farmer's market, just the prevailing thought was just, you know, just normal. Just, you know, we're going about our daily lives kind of thing. But, like, when I went to the grocery store, there was just this you know, after you can't find stuff and all that, there's just this undercurrent of fear and scarcity. What is the feeling of what I mean, was Disney World, you've been there before.
Right, yeah.
So, how was it?
We went to Universal.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Or what?
three separate, yeah, Universal and Islands of Adventure are the ones that we went to, but...
Okay, but you have two experiences at the same
correct,
place.
Correct.
How were they alike and how were they different?
The difference of things, a lot of the stuff that you had to do as far as getting on rides, maybe if you wanted to eat somewhere in the park, all had to be done virtually, like on your phone. So they have a thing called like a virtual line. So if you wanted to ride this ride, some of them didn't have them, but a few did. So like a virtual line would be, I want to ride this ride, so you click on it and then you pick a time that you're going to show up, and like they'll have times, you know, scheduled for you. So you just pick a time and then you show up during that time and you get straight on the ride. So that was a little different. Like I said, all the restaurants and stuff are online too. So they have, each restaurant outside has a big barcode on their window or on the ground. So you walk up to it, or a QR code. You walk up to it, you scan it with your phone, and then it brings up a whole menu item for that restaurant. So you can place your order, give them a name and everything, and then send the order in, and then they're supposed to have it. They'll send you a time and when they're going to have it ready, and then you basically walk up and say, you know, this is my name, I'm here for my food, and they'll bring you in, they'll sit you at a certain table, which is like apart from everybody else, you know, the whole 6 feet rule. So, I mean, it's just getting used to that was a little strange, but the lines were reasonable. We went during the week. The weekend times are still a little crazy, but like I said, we went during the week, and it really wasn't too bad. I mean, we were there for 2 days. We did like a 2-day, 2-park pass. So the first day we went to Universal, second day we went to Islands of Adventure, and then the Islands of Adventure day, that's like where all the big coasters are, and as opposed to like Universal's the more movie side of things. So there's a lot of movie oriented or movie themed stuff over there. But yeah, we got fast passes the second day, and we got to jump a lot of the lines. I mean, I think the longest wait time I saw was like 90 minutes.
Pissing people off the whole time.
Yeah, we made some people mad by doing that, but I mean, hey.
Screw them.
Hey, racer's gonna jump the line.
Yeah, we're gonna jump.
Okay, well, that's really interesting. You know, and I would say that a lot of lessons have been learned during this interesting time in our lives, and I think some things are going to stay and some things are going to go. But I think I would probably miss the spontaneity. You know, like, ooh, I want to ride that one.
Right.
Ooh, I want to ride that one. And
Yeah.
now you've got to put planning into it rather than just going.
Well, I mean, it definitely makes a full day out of it. I mean, for both days we were there, we were pretty much there from opening to close, and they were also running on like 30 or 25 or 30% capacity. I'm not exactly sure which one, but so it makes you have to be there at the gate, ready to go if you want to get there or if you want to be in it.
Interesting. Okay, so let's see here. We've got some more comments here. Cameron says J.C. Wilson last night at Tri-County Speedway took first place to the house. Fantastic. He says, thank you, Crate Insider, for the great parts and service. You're very welcome. And let's see, Chris says, okay, so I hear y'all talk about oxygenated gas. Is that the same as running propylene oxide?
No, it's not. Normally, most race gases that they oxygenate, they use a couple different agents. I'm not familiar with everything that they use, but the most common things to use are going to be a form of ethanol or methanol.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, Terry says, okay, now let's all behave in here. But he also says, fight any and all mail-in voting BS. Terry, I'm with you. 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
I'm going to show up. I want to show my ID, and that's how I want to vote. And that's what I want for everybody else, too.
We should be required to vote.
Did you get the thing in the mail from the Trump campaign about mail-in voting? Like, go ahead and request your mail-in vote, your absentee ballot. Absentee ballots are fine. Here's an application to send in your deal.
No.
I've got one right here.
Why would they send that out when they don't want mail-in voting?
Well, to get ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
To beat them at their own game. Yes, I got this. I gotta go through the obstacle course because my mini bike is in the living room here. Urgent notice for your securely and safely request your absentee ballot. Your official absentee ballot status needs your attention. I didn't actually open it. I just saw it on the outside. But,
I'm gonna show up and vote. So
that's what I'm gonna do too. But here it tells you how to request your absentee ballot, which is a lot different. But it'll be interesting here. So if North Carolina decides to do the whole mail-in voting thing,
with our idiot governor, there's no telling.
I know, but I have 2 townhouses, so who knows who's lived here before? It'll be interesting to see how many ballots come to my house.
It'd be interesting to see how many times you can vote.
Yeah. I won't break the law.
No, I know.
But I will make a video filling out all 4, 5, 6, 12 ballots that come to my house. So, I mean, who knows? Because, I mean, I live in an apartment townhouse. I've lived here for 6 years, but, you know, the other ones have been like a revolving door. So who knows? And Terry did say, yes, you see who slipped in on y'all. The Alex. He's awesome. Yeah, you guys keep on dropping in your questions, or actually we're getting pretty close to time here, so we're usually in here at for about an hour or so.
Yeah.
Or so.
Yeah, I'm tired of shit though.
Yeah. Well, and I'm gonna make some dinner.
I'll let Alex take my spot, and I'll go take a nap.
Take a nap.
I already took one nap. Shit.
Yeah.
Today?
Yeah, I made the mistake eating lunch. I never eat lunch on Saturday or on Sunday. I ate lunch, and then I'm like all of a sudden like snoozy.
Did you nap here?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, shit, I went and crashed out.
Yeah, he had lunch at Don Ramon's, and he came here and he was all tired, and I was like, if you want to take a nap, go take a nap.
Yeah.
Did you do it like here or in the other apartment?
No, here.
Huh.
Here. Well, yeah, because just took a nap. I was like, yeah, you know where. Go on and help yourself there.
You know where it's at.
Okay. Mikey's got a good question. I don't think you were here yet, Alex, but Mikey earlier asked if Steve got back into racing and it wasn't a late model, what would be his next choice? So for you, Mikey's asking, for Alex, what class would you race if late model wasn't an option? And then we'll tell you what your dad said.
That's a really good question. I think, honestly, I have a lot of buddies that race these, and they seem like really fun. I know there can be some like controversy, beating and banging and stuff, but I would really like to try out one of those street stocks, like one of those crate racing street stock deals. I think that'd be really cool to do.
Guess what your dad said?
He did say the same
Same.
thing. Did you really? I think it would be fun. Small tires. I think it'd be a fun deal.
Yeah. Maybe we'll have to do it'd be cool. It'd be a CrateInsider street stock project.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a lot of fun. Put one of those together.
Yeah, that'd be pretty neat.
Well, I get involved with those with the Race Logic chassis schools. And I just think there's just so much amazing technology that's going in those, and just a lot of great projects going on. So Chris says, so I'm guessing if you're running an oxygenated gas, you have to up the jets. Do you also need to move the timing around?
Normally, like from non-oxygenated race gas to an oxygenated race gas, it's not as simple as just changing jets. So, yes, that would be one aspect of things, or one thing you'd have to do. There'd be probably more than likely, depending on what you got for a carburetor, there's going to be air bleed adjustments and everything else that needs to be made to make it actually run properly. Can you just change jets and make it run? Yes, but to make it run to its full potential, there's more to it than just that. And what was the other part of the question? Timing, ignition timing.
Yeah.
Generally on ignition timing, I mean, yeah, you can change timing to get better performance, but it's nothing I would do unless you were actually able to be on a dyno to see how that fuel performs.
Yeah. Mikey followed up with his. He says that's why I race street stocks. They are just fun.
Yeah.
Now there was also a question where we were hypothesizing if Joe Biden was to become a race car driver,
Right.
What
What
class would he
run?
race?
Mm-hmm.
So
That would be the class right there.
yeah, Chris commented, I thought Alex was going to say front wheel drive class with Craig.
Absolutely not. You couldn't pay me to drive one of those.
Not to keep, not to be mean to front wheel drive people or anything.
No, but
I think any kind of racing, anytime somebody wants to do anything, that it's great. But because they're probably not really our customers.
I think
anyway.
I told you. I don't know who took the picture, but I saw a picture on Facebook of. It was, I don't know who it was. I don't know the number or anything like that. It was a front wheel drive guy going out for hot laps in his car, and his head was sticking above the roll cage.
You did show me that. Safety is an option.
Good luck, buddy. I just don't. And then some of the.
Honestly, that is the most dangerous class in racing.
I agree.
Yeah.
Those cars are so horribly built, most of them, and I don't know. If I had a racetrack, I would never run. If I owned a racetrack, I would not be running those at my track. I'll put it that way.
Interesting to know. Well, cool. Well, I think, let me see if we've got any other questions here. Terry says something slow, I am sure. Well, I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you for being part of the show. If you would like to, if you're here with us live on Facebook, if you want to listen to this again or see it again, we'll have it up on YouTube tomorrow, or we will have it, the audio of this on the Racing Insiders podcast. And just for anyone who's listening on the Racing Insiders podcast, later on, if you would like to be with us live, you can catch us on Crate Insiders Facebook page and join us live on Sundays at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. So thank you so much for being here, you guys, and I will look forward to seeing you next Sunday on Unsealed. And you can also catch me on the Crate Insider Facebook page on Tuesday for Top 5 Tuesday at 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern. So from all of us here at Crate Insider and Racing Insiders podcast and all the things, you guys have a great week, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
See ya.